are rolling. Let's get punched in here. I'm telling you, you know what this is? It's Monday morning. Say that with a little more fervor. The range. It's Monday morning, and welcome to the Mountain Monday Morning Show right here on Mountain Fun Life Radio. And we're just sitting back here and getting ready to go live, so you all get ready, get on your phone, text, tweet, do all that tech stuff that I don't know nothing about. And but contact anyone that you can think of and tell them just to get them a cup of coffee and settle back, relax, and join us right here on Mountain Monday Morning, and we'll be right back.
Well, the cows on the hillside, the mules in the barn, chicken in the corn crib eating all the corn. Paul's digging taters, Mama's jelly won't deal, so we're sitting on the porch just to rest a little spell. Well, supper time's coming and the sun's going down. Gonna wait till tomorrow just to plow my ground. Lord have mercy and bless our soul. If it weren't for your love, life would be so cold. I'm gonna love my neighbor, try to help him like you said, on her mama and papa till the day I'm dead. I'm done talking, take a little nap, just wanted to share a little mountain man rap. I usually don't do it, then call it a song, like an angry man growling in monotone. That being said, I'm gonna shut my mouth, this mountain man sounds cooler in the air.
Okay, what was that you did on the end there, Wayne? That Mountain Man rap. Man alive, I'm telling you, that is something. We had fun doing that, didn't we?
I had a blast.
You know, and in case you all are wondering, that drum on there, of course I used a regular drum on that too, but that ain't no ordinary snare drum. That is one of those galvanized wash tubs, you know, that we put on there. And
No scrub board wasn't
no
too
scrub
bad.
board wasn't too bad, and you know, we had a lot of fun with Mountain Man rap. We got to, you know, do our thing with that one, and not really poke a little fun at rap music, but well, yeah, we did too. We had fun. It's fun, you know. If you like it, that's fine. I have no problem with that. We just enjoy it.
To be poked at.
Hey. Okay. Hey, we want to give a shout out to Martin and Landra Sims over on English Mountain. Hi, folks. You got any rain over there? I'm sure you do. I hope it's not snow. You're up. You know, they're so high up on English Mountain that I think all Martin has to do to get satellite signal, just go out and put his hand up in the air.
Piece
Just
of
eat your
aluminum
piece.
foil works
A
real
piece
good
of
over
aluminum
there.
foil up there, yeah, but and the
Mhm.
oxygen level is a little bit shallow too once you get up that high. Well, you went up there with me.
Oh, yeah.
Man alive. But anyway, we want to say hi to you folks. Thanks for joining in. Now, some of you did you do that text that we asked you to do and phone call and all that? Some of you and click and share.
Click and
Yeah,
share.
now that you're here, just click that share button and share the program. Get it around, get it going around. You know, we're going around the world with this program in places. It's just, I don't know. It's technology today. We're going, do you know, now, Bob, you correct me on this if I get this wrong, but you know, some people, it's Monday morning, the Monday morning show here for us. But now there are some people who are up late at night right now because all the way around on the other side of the world, you probably ain't been that far. have you?
Nah, I can't see that far.
You can't see that far. They're catching this program late at night, and they tell me they're staying up late to get to listen to Mountain Monday Morning at night. So, what do you think about them apples? That's all right. Thank you, folks. That's we really appreciate that because that helps. But get back to what I was saying here. Do you know that 80% of media content is received by cell phone or mobile app? Is that right, Bob? Did I get that right?
80% is available through cell phone.
80% of media content is available by cell phone or other mobile device. Now that's communication today is not like it was back when we first did the little local radio programs. You know, I'm sure you helped on some of those too, and they had the airwaves, the ether. Some people call it the ether waves. And you know, you drive outside of town 25, 30 miles, and the station starts fading. And you'd lose it. Some of them, the high-powered stations, you can lose them within a 50-mile radius, and you get behind a mountain range or something, and out of the range of that signal, and you just lose contact. But that's not the way it is today. Here we are on Mountain Monday Morning, talking to folk in Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and oh goodness, I don't know. Some of our material's been going into Germany, France, the Middle East, and I can't mention all those countries. They're just, but thank you very much, folks, for your interest in how mountain folk live and act around here. And Mountain Man acts up a lot, so you just sometimes you have to overlook. And we were talking on the way over here about some of the old ways of how we would. We didn't need a lot of entertainment. We entertained ourselves. Your imagination has to kick in, and you have to, a lot of the technical toys and stuff that they have now, the Transformers and what I'm thinking of, we had our own Transformers. We could transform a piece of wood into whatever our little minds could come up with when we were kids, and you remember that, don't you?
Yeah, my first horse was a stick about yay long.
Mine was an old broomstick. My mother'd wear out those straw brooms, you know. And sometimes my dad would make them. He'd go out and cut the sage, the broom straw, and he would tie that onto a stick that he'd cut a good straight stick for that. And when my mom would sweep those old wooden floors, and that would wire down to a little stub, you know, she'd say, "Here's your horse." And my dad tie a string around it, you know, hee-haw, you know, get on the ride. And that's the way we entertained ourselves, and playing softball out in the cow pasture. You don't want to remember one episode, do you? You know, when you play softball out in the cow pasture and you take one of those sawmills. I had a sawmill right up from our house. My dad used to work for him. And we worked in farming and logs and logging and pulpwood and stuff. It was the most dangerous job in the world at one time. I think fishing has kind of taking over that spot in a deep sea fishing. But anyway, you get out there with that sawmill bat, and my brother, he was always stout as a mule. He'd take one of them bats and he'd hit that softball, and that bat break snap in two, and then we'd have to make another one. And but along about, we'd make those, we'd dig us, clean us out a little spot in the cow pasture in the ground for our bases. We'd measure it off, so many steps. And you make those bases around till you get back to your home base, and we'd use a little something for our home base, an old toe sack or something, so we know which one was home base. But along about dusky dark, it would get a little hard to see those spots on the ground, those brown spots that we had for bases. Now, do you remember one specific time and you hit the ball and it went clear out of the barnyard? I mean, that was one more home run. But you didn't quite make that home run because a little dusky dark and you slid into what you thought was third base.
Well, it made sliding a little easier. But, yeah.
Pro players, they know nothing about base sliding, I'm telling you. They know nothing about it. But anyway, we hope that you enjoy our programs. Now, we had a guest we had scheduled or trying to schedule to come in with the old harp singing. And he was said he was going to be working or wasn't going to have time to make the program this morning. So but we do have a guest that we're going to get in here, and we'll deal with that a little later. But if I do want that old time mountain harp singing, it is so beautiful. Now I know that some people have things come up, but now if you're out there and you're involved, if you teach it, sing it, and you know the ins and outs of old harp singing, let me tell you, we would be more than happy to have you contact us and let us know. I'm on Facebook and Mountain Fun Life Radio. Get in touch with us. We would be pleased to have them, wouldn't we, to present that old-timey music. And listen, I think it's really important that people know, if you have your faith, your fellowship, and don't just keep it inside four walls. Take it out there. Get it out. And this is a media avenue here that you can do that.
Man, step out of the box.
Yeah, step out of the box. Man, let's get this thing moving. And if you have never in your life heard the old mountain style of old harp singing, it's going to be a treat. That's the reason I'm so excited about getting someone. And if you're out there and you do this and you know it and can come in and talk to us and talk to the people around the world and do a little demonstration, we would really be pleased to have you, and I would be pleased to present you to our Mountain Monday morning audience. And so, well, let's move. Why don't you tell us about your crawdad catching when you was a kid? I did that too,
Well, we didn't have a lot, And,
A lot of crawdads?
well, a lot, period. But that was a great pastime, catch crawdads, and I can imagine what my wife would think about them today.
Yeah, we had, there'd probably be, girls, they might be afraid of them. Now, Rhonda, she'd pick one right up and throw it at us.
But of course.
She'd toss it right down our shirt. And back then in our days of growing up, we didn't have a lot of high-tech stuff, but we didn't need it. And our imagination would lead us to be creative. And creativity needs to have a challenge. And when there's no challenge, the creativity doesn't show up. Wouldn't you agree with? I'm getting philosophical on you here, I know.
A big word that comes to mind when we think about
you've been practicing those big words. I'm proud of you.
In our old days, is back when we were boys, we called it a bourgeois wagon.
Bourgeois wheel wagon, yeah. Yeah, you take a
log. Just take a piece of wood and cut it off straight.
a good.
couple axles. And,
Yeah,
and you got a wagon.
we used to make them, and my brother would find some logs that were. See, we were in logging and farming and everything, and we had first a crosscut saw, the 2-man saw. If y'all don't know what that is, we may just have to do a little story here, a mountain man story sometime on the old 2-man crosscut saw. Then we finally upgraded to a chainsaw, a gas-operated chainsaw. And my brother would take a big log that was almost perfectly round, and he'd saw the wheels. That was our wheels. He'd drill a hole in the middle of it with an old hand crank drill, and he'd put that on those axles and then drive a nail or put a bolt something through so they wouldn't slip off, and you'd operate it with your feet back and forth,
Exactly.
the front wheels.
Yeah, a string.
Or a
and your
string, we
feet.
hitch the mule to it and get the mule to pull it. And so now that's what we did. That was our recreation, what we did for fun, and things like that. Oh, we're going back to them good old days now. And you know, we didn't have the drugs and everything that's running rampant. We never heard of anything like that.
That's true. And Robert, you know, back in then when we were children, if they did drink, it was in a brown paper bag. They did not
Moonshine,
did not openly drink in front of the children.
And
or
then a
anybody.
lot of times that was for flu, cough, cold, something like that, congestion, and it was not to just get loopy out of it, you know. Now some of them, I know there were some that was selling it, making money and all that, but some made it just for medicinal purposes because that's basically about all they had. So when you think of mountain moonshining, don't always think of it in a bad light, because some of those people, that's the only medicine they had. So it's something that you know, you have moderation. You have to be you have to use common sense. Don't overdo it. And I guess about the strongest thing as a kid that we ever smoked, or at least I ever smoked, and I suppose you did too, was what we call rabbit tobacco.
Exactly.
It was just a weed, not a drug, but it tasted kind of like regular tobacco. Roll that up in a brown paper leaf, you know, and you talk about turning you green. Did you ever get?
Made you sick for a day or two.
It'll make you sick for a day or two, or at least a few hours, and
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
telling you, But we tried it, and now that was basically the extent of our what you might call a habit, is something like that. But
We were children, and children do things.
yeah, you know, that imagination, experimentation with things like that. But anyway, and I'll tell you what we're going to do after a while too. We're going to, hey, let's talk about our gourd tars. Bob came up and did a little film. We did some filming of us, showing how we put those gourd tars and canned joes and tin tars made out of the cookie tins and things like that together. We even got one, I think they have here, that we made out of a coffee container, and just for the resonation of it, you know, to resonate the music out of it. So why don't we let Bob take us to the little video he did about the gourd tars. Are you ready, Bob?
I'm ready. Here we go.
Well, the cows on the hillside, the mules in the barn, chicken in the corn crib eating all corn. All digging taters, mama's jelly warm girl, so we're sitting on the porch. Take a raw 2x4 and we cut that down. Then I take it outside on the router table with a round over bit, and I round these edges, make it smooth. Then I take the table saw and I cut these out. This is notched out for keys. Okay, and then the gourds are basically, I can find that one. They're basically just a gourd. And then you clean these insides out of that if they're not dry good, because you have to scrape that out. You can see where I've scraped. And then when you take your neck, you cut your neck, you lay that up there. Then you gotta very gently cut that out.
They're very durable.
They're durable.
They're durable, but if you drop them or bang them against something, they will crack. But they are sturdy. They're very durable. They give a terrific acoustic sound.
And then Robert can show you the finished products and what we do.
And this is one we're working on. And this one has this odd globe type, looks like a snake's head with a tongue. And so the neck of it will go through here after it's notched down. And we use the iBolt tuning keys instead of regular guitar type tuning keys because we wanted it to look handmade. And in order for it to look handmade, we used what a country person, mountain person would use, iBolts. And when this is finished, this will be a smaller version. Meet the Serpent. And they actually play. It's not in good tune because the weather's getting to it right now. It sounds great when it gets tuned up, but you can tell it's not exactly in tune.
Sounds good to me.
Play this
Oh,
one.
play
Right
that
here.
here.
And that's so pretty. It's so neat. The little one. I'll hold that and you play that.
This is one that's probably going to be a keeper that we're just going to hang on to. You can see it's still kind of it's smoothed down, not painted. We just left it rustic looking. And it plays too. And of course, out in the weather, none of them are in really good tune, but they can be tuned up and really, really, really sound good. You can also use a slide. So
that's really nice. Here's one that we're working on that isn't finished yet.
And these actually sound kind of like, they actually sound kind of like a banjo when they're done. And they resonate really good.
This is a bass, a gourd bass that we made. We let the strings off because the neck was so easy.
Like that.
Put regular bass strings on it. I couldn't figure out how to do this, Bob, so I kind of hillbillied it up a little bit with this piece of steel. That's just a piece of...
Now that right there is about as hillbilly as you can possibly get.
We're not going to say redneck.
We don't waste nothing. And to beat it all, it turns into a beautiful instrument when you're done. It actually plays.
We were so excited about that when we didn't even finish the neck. But you can tune that up just like a regular bass guitar. Okay? I can take a tuner and put that in the standard key.
Well, that's neat.
But
That's special, guys. That's really cool.
I mean, there's not much to it. Yeah, we should tune that, but
We should have tuned them, yeah.
That's all right.
We leave them
That's what they
off.
are.
But if you can get music out of one and that out of tune, you can imagine what it'd be like
Yeah,
when it's in
but-
tune.
You have to watch.
Out in the rain
neck.
and weather too.
The net, yeah, we leave them out. Rob, we'll just lay them in here and I'll put them up later.
Okay. But that's it. The Guitar Factory.
But now, Bob, you can take, if you got things to work with, like these sanders help a lot. You know, of course, I use Mama's freezer as a work table. To be honest about it, it's too full to get in. But like I said, I'm a blessed man. Get your
Get your
guitar.
guitar. Mountain Fun Life Radio is the only way that you can go.
We're down.
Look at this one coming right over.
And welcome back to Mountain Monday Morning. Oh, by the way, I always forget to do an ID. I am Robert Ownby, your host, and Mountain Man, he's here. He stepped out for a few minutes. Hey, we got Bob Denny. If you all are wondering who I've been all this conversing back and forth and yelling back and forth at each other, right here's the man with the plan who runs the cameras and all those little buttons out there. Sometimes I want to go out and start punching buttons, but he gives me that look, like, don't you dare
touch
touch, don't you dare touch that.
Do I have that look? I try not to
Yeah,
have that.
sometimes you have that look. Don't you dare touch that. Anyway, we have a lot of fun here, and Mountain Man, I'm telling you, he's quite a character.
Oh,
and
he's loved.
we do want to give a shout out to Bob Bradley. Is that you looking in here, Bob Bradley? What are you doing, you critter? Glad you're on here, Bob. Hey, your turn's coming. You can count on it, brother. Your turn's coming.
Hey, can I tell you a quick story on Bob
yeah,
Bradley?
sure. I need to know something on him.
So he grows a little crop behind his home, and he knows I love corn, and so
Ooh, me too.
I probably shouldn't say this, but when corn is in season, he brings me about a dozen ear, and we eat that corn up, and he stopped. So Bobby Bradley, you're more than welcome to stop by the studio with some corn.
Bob, I like corn too, and you know where I live. So Rhonda likes corn. Mountain Man, do you like corn? Okay. Hey, we better do a little promo here. Bob, what we got going on coming up here? We got Rhonda's show comes on next, doesn't it? Right here.
Rhonda's show will be up next, so hang in there.
Mountain Man and I may stick around and aggravate her.
Please do.
Yeah,
Please,
okay.
She needs the aggravation.
And tomorrow at 9 o'clock, what do we have going on?
We have our little Super Savings Show. And the Super Savings Show is a new program where we had so many people coming to us. I mean, honestly, this thing has just been amazing. Like, I can't say how amazing. Our inbox is full of people just either wanting to come and be on shows, wanting to learn, and we are a full studio. We have 3 studios within this studio, right? We have the main studio, we have the upstairs studio, we have the radio that we're in now. And I honestly want us to be like a network going nonstop.
I'm expecting that to happen. Oh, by the way, folks, did you know that Mountain Fun Life Radio is number 1?
It is.
Number 1, so keep spreading the word. You all hey, that's what makes it happen. Okay, what else we got here, Bob? We got the other thing. I have my note. I have a note
on
here.
the 15th.
Yeah,
Well,
on the 15th.
let me speak to the radio thing real quick. I
Okay.
think the reason that we're number one is because we have something that someone else doesn't have, and people are coming to us because obviously they're getting something that is not out there somewhere else, which is the old songs and the local mountain music and the bluegrass, and that mixture is not common anymore.
In other words, it's not necessarily your commercial type
It is not.
media.
Yeah, and we don't really have commercials on there, although we will. Obviously, we have to have an income funnel,
Oh, yeah.
so we will in the future. But it's mostly straight music. The cool thing about it is, in our technology of today, you could have a internet station, okay, and it wasn't listened to. Now, internet stations are listened to probably as much, if not more, than regular radio.
Getting back to that content thing.
Because the content.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm in my car and I take my phone and I pair it to my Bluetooth, and Mom and I drove back
Wow.
from Cincinnati. Guess what I listened to? Because we were actually in some places where the radio was cutting out.
Yeah.
But my Bluetooth was picking up Mountain Fun Life, and we listened to that the whole way too. And I saw honestly, this station is kind of driven from what I knew Mom wanted. You can attribute Mountain Fun Life to my mountain mom, because I didn't understand the music, but she did. And that music is kind of attributed to the kind of style that she listened to, and she couldn't get anymore.
And that's what I'm actually referring to when I'm saying it's not necessarily commercial in the sense that it is presenting a high-end pro. It's more basic, homey, down-to-earth
It
front
is.
porch.
And the more that I listen to it, the more that I really enjoy the storytelling of the songs.
Yes,
Storytelling. The
yes,
songs really meant something back then.
they sure did. Okay, a Creative Christian Network event,
Yeah.
5/15/2018. That's next month.
So it's the 15th, May 15th, and I think that's on a Thursday or a Tuesday. I can't remember.
I don't have that down, but it is 15th. Just look on your calendar,
Rhonda
folks.
keeps my calendar for me. I love Rhonda.
What day is that, Rhonda?
Hang on just a second.
Well, we got her busy out there looking for it.
So everything that's happening here on the Mountain Fun Life side, which has been very successful, I'm the president over a nonprofit which is called the Creative Christian Network, and we air Christian products. And
Yes.
so typically we've been very successful by doing that over the Roku. If you don't know what Roku is a streaming box that you buy and put it on your television. You watch streaming television. But now that streaming is so popular on the social media side, we've decided to take the very popular Creative Christian Network, which has well over, I think, 30,000 monthly viewers on Roku. And they say that there's, for each viewership that's downloaded, each channel that's downloaded, they say 4 people watch it. So we're really large in that area, and we're in all countries. But we've decided to take the algorithm, which is very successful for Mountain Fun Life, and put it over onto the Creative Christian Network, and that is going to explode. The thing
I'm
that
excited
does
about
for us,
that.
though, is it allows our local ministries, and honestly, the budget is so small. It's I mean, I'll just share with you. We have programming that can be done at $15 a show.
Wow.
The reason we were doing that is it's not because we have to get sponsorship to be able to do that,
Right.
to keep the lights on. I mean, all of this equipment is very expensive.
I'm familiar with that.
You got to find quality people like Rhonda that knows how to run it, because not your average guy off the street. So what we've done is we've created a studio that's very professional that ministries can come in and utilize. And then we're utilizing the social media platform, which is actually free. So we're not paying airtime.
Right.
And we're allowing small ministries now to come in and be able to minister and do ministry and network together and grow this thing. And because We know that small ministries they struggle budget wise, but they have the same wonderful word to share that the large ministries have to share.
And we, did you hear that, ministries? Ministers, if you're involved in a ministry now, this is really neat and really good to have something like this.
May the 15th.
May the 15th. be
Open
here,
house.
Open house.
Yeah.
May the 15th.
We're going to
Get
teach
involved.
some social media things, so folks that don't understand social media, hopefully they'll leave here with a better understanding of it, because there are a lot of ministries out there that don't know the power of what can be done. So we're going to teach some social media type courses, but you'll get a tour of the studios, and then we're also going to offer an opportunity for you to come in and do a set of free programs to kind of get your foot, in the door.
So don't keep your ministry cooped up inside four walls with an occasional dinner on the ground underneath an oak tree. Get it out. Get it out. A faith that is worth having is worth sharing. So I guess with that, we will say thank you for joining us on Mountain Fun Life Radio on the Mountain Monday Morning Show, and be sure and catch us again.
Well, the cows on the hillside, the mules in the barn, chicken in the corn crib eating all the corn. Paul's digging taters, mama's jelly won't deal, so we're sitting on the porch just to rest a little spell. Well, supper time's coming and the sun's going down. Gonna wait till tomorrow just to plow my ground. Lord, have mercy and bless our soul. If it weren't for your love, life would be so cold. I'm gonna love my neighbor, try to help him like you said, on her mama and papa till the day I'm dead. I'm done talking, take a little nap, just wanted to share a little mountain man rap. I usually don't do it and call it a song like an angry man growling in monotone. That being said, I'm gonna shut my mouth, it's the mountain man.